Hey there, CJ Math students. So we're taking a look at income tax brackets, and from Friday again, you see income tax works based on kind of the percentage of money that you're earning. So I'll get taxed 10% on the chunk from $0 to $8,925. So how much is that money? Well, when you just subtract it, it's $8,925. I multiply that by 10%, and I round it to the nearest dollar. So and on that amount of money that I make, I'll be taxed, or I'll owe the government $893 for income tax. Then the next part is from $925 to $36,250. So again, you got to find how much money is in that chunk. You do that simply by subtracting the two numbers, right? $36,250 minus $8,925. That gives me $27,325. That gets taxed at 15%. So when I get taxed at 15%, I round to the nearest dollar, so $4,098.75 rounds to $4,099. So now this is highlighted because Mr. Mason, as you recall, made up to $45,000. So while this tax bracket goes all the way up to $87,850, I'm only going to go up to $45,000 because I don't make any more than that. So normally, this tax bracket, if I took the entire chunk, it would be $51,600. But because I only make $45,000, I just subtract the $45,000 minus the $36,250, and it gives me $8,750. So I tax that at 25%. And when I do that, I'm going to get $2,187.50. So rounded to the nearest whole number, that's $2,188, right? So now notice all this right here, I could go ahead and I could cross off because it does not apply to my tax situation because I'm not making more than $45,000, right? If I was making $45,000, then I would have to continue to go through each tax bracket. So when I ask myself, how much do I pay in taxes? I'm simply going to add $893 plus $4,099 plus $2,188. Right? So in the part that says, contract salary, well, I'd write down, hey, my contracted salary is $45,000. But in the part that says what I owe to the government, my income tax, I'm going to add the three numbers that I just circled, these three numbers right here, because as we figured out, that's how much money at these tax brackets that I owe. So that's $7,180. Now to figure out what my actual take-home salary this is called the take-home salary, money that I actually get to keep. Basically, all you're going to do is subtract $45,000 minus the $7,180. So $45,000 minus $7,180 means my actual take-home salary is $37,820 after taxes. That's my take-home. Now, if you go to the back side, you can do the same thing for LeBron. However, as you've noticed, LeBron's salary is a little bit more complicated because he fills in every single tax bracket, right? Because he makes over $400,000. Remember, he makes $23 million, right? The M stands for million, right? So he's going to fill in these 6 tax brackets. So he's going to actually add up all of these numbers. So all of these numbers get added together, right? And then actually his biggest chunk of taxes is going to come from his $23 million minus $400,000. So let's plug in $23 million here. That's followed by 6 zeros, right? So when I do $23 million minus $400,000, I get $22,600,000 that's going to get taxed at 40%. So when I multiply that by 0.40, that turns out to be $9 million. $9,040,000. That's a lot of money. So the most amount of money that LeBron's paying on tax actually occurs in this 40% tax bracket, right? They're really hammering him on that. So his actual salaries, or his contracted salary is $23 million a year. His total income tax is all these numbers added together, which when I do that, I get $9,156,165, right? That's a lot of tax. But, I mean, don't feel too bad for LeBron, because basically when his actual salary is just going to be these two numbers subtracted from each other. So when I do 23 million minus 9,156,165, LeBron still at the end of the day gets to go ahead and make $13,843,835. Now that's without endorsements, that's without all other sorts of income that he actually makes. Now let's see what actually happens. Let's take a look at Steph Curry. So taxes are a little bit more complicated than I've made them. So Steph Curry's gross pay, this is endorsements, this is his contract, this is everything. Last year, $34,682,550, right? They have this thing called escrow accounts. An escrow account is usually what you pay for your mortgage on your house. So when you buy a house, you usually take out a mortgage, and you have to pay in property taxes on those. So all of his properties and everything like that, he's paying taxes on those. His federal taxes, makes sense that he's up around $11 million. His city and state taxes are up around $4 million. So when we were doing income tax, we didn't even take into the city and state taxes, right? Then he's got to pay his agent almost $1 million. He manages his retirement plan, his 401k. He manages $18,000. He gets some of that escrow money back because sometimes you pay too much in property taxes, and some of his taxes is shortfall he gets back. So at the end of the day, when he's making $34 million, the actual money that he gets to count as his is $15 million bucks. Now think about this for athletes. This could be super dangerous, right? You sign that contract of $50 million, and all of a sudden you go out and buy a couple houses, really nice cars, a whole bunch of fancy stuff, and say you spend $40 million on it, thinking you had all that $50 million. Well, you forgot about taxes, you forgot about your agent, you forgot about your property taxes, your state taxes. Like, you could easily end up in debt very quickly, and this happens a lot from time to time. So if you don't actually understand the tax system and how your contract is worked out, you could be in some big time trouble. So here we have three different kind of tax system. A regressive tax rate says that if you look at it, those with lower income get taxed the most, but everybody gets taxed the same amount, but it turns out to be they have a higher percentage to pay at low income. A progressive tax rate says that as you make more money, your percentage of tax increases. That's what basically we were doing in our tax system. And then a proportional tax rate says no matter what you do, everybody's going to pay the same percentage. And we taught this is sometimes called a flat tax, right? And so what I basically want you to do in this space right here is write which one you think is the best and why.